Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Dear viewers in Islam, we are going to speak in this episode about another parable of Al-Quran, again from Surah Al-Baqarah, from verse number 19. Let me read that parable first in Arabic. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم من الصواعق حذر الموت والله محيط بالكافرين يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Let us take the translation of these two ayats. Or another similitude is that of a rain-laden cloud from the sky. In it are zones of darkness and thunder and lightning. They press their fingers in their ears to keep out the stunning thunderclap, the while they are in terror of death. But Allah is ever around the rejectors of faith. The lightning all but snatches away their sight. Every time the light helps them, they walk therein. And when the darkness grows on them, they stand still. And if Allah willed, He could take away their faculty of hearing and seeing. For Allah hath power over all things. This is the whole picture. And we said in our first episode that there are two pictures and they resemble each other. This is the example of those hypocrites, those people who got Iman and who got some hypocrisy as well. Branches of Iman, branches of Nifaq. They fluctuate between two of them. And this is why their case is different from the first group of hypocrites who were very, very sincere in their hypocrisy. But these people, they are different from them. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a different similitude for them. And look at the similitude itself. The first one, they are given the example of fire. And these people, they are given the example of water. And you can have the difference between the fire and the water in the very same way. This is the difference between two groups. Now what is the similitude first? And then we are going to see how it fits the picture of those hypocrites. أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق. Like water, rainwater, which is coming from the heaven, and in that rainwater, فيه ظلمات, there are darknesses. ورعد, and there is thunder. وبرق, and there is lightning. Now, as you know that when it is a very heavy shower coming from the clouds, and then there is the sound of that thunder, and then the lightning as well. All these three things are going to create a very, very terrible picture. Just think about some people who are traveling in the desert, and then they are facing this torment of the rainwater pouring upon them in a very heavy quantity of water. And then these people, they were struck with lightning. They got that thunder which they can't bear, and this is why يَجْعَلُونَ أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ مِنَ الصَّوَائِقِ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ. They want to put their fingers in their ears because they don't want to hear to that sound of the thunder. حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ, because they are scared of death. Anytime that lightning is going to fall upon them and they are going to die. This is why they are moving in such a way of a person who is very scary, very fearful of death. Wallahu muhitun bil kafirin. Now, what is the example here? The example is of those munafiqeen who got iman and who got nifaq. Now this rainwater, that is the revelation. Because revelation is given the example of rainwater in many verses of Al-Quran. Because rainwater is coming from the heaven. The revelation is coming from the heaven as well. Now in that revelation, فِيهِ ظُلُمَاتٌ وَرَعْدٌ وَبَرْقٌ. There are darknesses, there is thunder, and there is lightning. What does it mean? Zulumatun, darknesses. Darknesses means that when you accept the revelation, you are going to face so many difficulties in your life. Once you profess Islam, even your own kith and kin, your own relatives, your own wife, your own father, your own mother, they are going to oppose you. They are going to turn your life into hell. Don't think that to become Muslim is a very easy task. No, because you have to change everything in your life. So, expect some difficulties when you become Muslim. And these difficulties are because you have accepted Islam. So, these difficulties are going to come. And but some people, they don't want to take these difficulties at all. وَرَعْدٌ. And there is this thunder. What is that thunder here? Thunder, in the revelation itself, there are some commands which seem to be, of course, very easy. Praying and also fasting and going for Hajj, and in the same way, even giving zakat. But when it comes to some harder types of commandments, sacrifice with your money. Give money in the path of Islam. Sacrifice with your soul, with your nafs in the path of Islam. وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. Strive fast in the way of Islam. These are the thunders which come to you. And if you are a true Muslim, you say welcome to them. You face them with smiling face. On the other hand, a hypocrite, he thought that to become Islam is a very easy matter, and then you got no demand to sacrifice, no demand to give your money, no demand to do jihad. No, that is not the case of a faithful Muslim. He is going to accept all the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with an agreeable soul. Now what is the barq? Barq, lightning here. Lightning here, it means those commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who gives you inspiration, who enlighten you, who becomes your helpers. But these munafiqeen people are hypocrites people. Whenever they see these lightnings and these commandments, they don't want to accept it. This is why they insert their fingers in their ears, because they don't want to listen to all these commandments. يَجْعَلُونَ أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ مِنَ الصَّوَائِقِ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ. As if it is death which is coming to them. When it is said, do jihad in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And jihad is to do effort in the way of Islam, just to convey the message of Islam. That is jihad. Even that is not acceptable to them. they think that this is death. So this is the picture of these munafiqeen. Wallahu muhitum bil kafirin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses the non-believers. Yani they must not think that they are going to escape the will of Allah. Now the picture is not complete until we read the next verse. يَكَادُ الْبَرْقُ يَخْطَفُ أَبْصَارَهُم. The lightning all but snatches away their sight. يَكَادُ الْبَرْقُ يَخْطَفُ أَبْصَارَهُم. When the revelation was shown to them, they see the revelation, they see the commandments which are pleasing to them, they do take some steps in their way. كُلَّمَا أَضَاءَ لَهُمْ مَشَوْا فِيهِ. Whenever it is lighted for them, they walk in it. So it means that these people, they got Iman. And moments of Iman are the moments of light. And in that light, yes, they walk. They walk few steps with the believers. And this is why on the day of judgment they are going to say that, O believers, we were with you. And so why we are treated now differently on the day of judgment? كُلَّمَا أَضَاءَ لَهُمْ مَشَوْا فِيهِ وَإِذَا أَظْلَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ قَامُوا. And when it is darkness, they stand still. What is the darkness here? When they leave the light and they go back to their old practices. They go back to their old practices of kufr and infidelity and hypocrisy. Qamu, they stand still because they don't want to go ahead with the teaching of Islam. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted, He could have taken away all their sights and all their hearings. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken of the first group. The first group was of those hypocrites who have totally lost their Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have treated this group in the very similar way. But why the treatment is different? Because these people, they got some moments of Iman, some moments of Nifaq, some moments of faith, some moments of hypocrisy. This is why they fluctuate between the state of Iman and state of Nifaq. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ended this verse by saying, Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able upon everything. Nobody should think that somebody can frustrate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can't be frustrated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able upon everything. What He got is sunnah, a way, an established way. He treats the people according to that way. Take one step to Islam and you will find that your path to Islam has become easier. Take one step to infidelity and you will find yourself that path has become easier for you. Don't you think that when you take one step to the mosque, when azan is pronounced, you take one step to the mosque, then eventually you end up in the mosque. In the same way, if you want to go to anything bad, you will end up there as well. So that is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with this explanation, we come to the end of this episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.